All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Planning Commission special meeting for September 16th. If we could all stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Margaret, roll call, please. Margaret? Margaret?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Now we can. Good evening. If we can get roll call,
Good eve-
please.
Mr. Burleson? Is Bob with us tonight?
He was going to be with us remotely. Margaret, I don't know if he's on. He was?
I don't see him online as yet. Ms. Cardona?
I'm here.
Mr. Gill?
Here.
Mr. Gillette?
Here.
Miss Little is absent this evening. Miss Wooland?
Here.
Mr. Kennedy?
I'm here.
Mr. Everly?
Here.
Mr. Kraus?
Here.
Attorney Decker?
Here.
Mr. Panzik?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, so we will move on with the meeting. There are no minutes to be approved tonight, no public hearing, and we'll go right to old new business. This is to seek a secondary plat for the Gates of St. John, units 21, 23, and 26. Mr. Kuiper, how are you, sir?
Good evening. I'm well, thank you. We're here tonight on the final or secondary plat approval for units 21, 23, and 26 for the Gates East. Again, I appreciate the scheduling of this special public meeting for this item tonight. This is 135 lots in the Gates East. You have in front of you Mr. Kraus's letter dated September 15, 2020. He notes no outstanding issues inside of that letter. Obviously, there's still the developmental fee, and then the letter of credit amounts are also posted in there. We believe everything is in order for this item tonight, and would request that you withhold signatures until the improvements are completed, inspected, and then approved per kind of usual with the Gates items.
All right. For the board, I will read the letter from Ken. It says, the previous review letter for this project dated September 2nd, 2020 was for review of a plat created by Turinga Engineering, Inc. The plat was redrawn by the developer and replaced with a plat created by V3. This letter summarizes the review of the V3 plat for this project. We have reviewed the secondary plat for the reference project and have the following comment. 1. This project includes 132 R2 PUD lots, 1 outlot, and associated infrastructure and facilities on 38.1196 acres. The subdivision is located east of Klein Avenue and north and south of West 105th Avenue. 2, we have reviewed the plans dated August 27, 2020, and revised on September 14, 2020. We find them to be satisfactory with the following exceptions and/or omissions. Lots 2108 and 2109 have been removed from this plat. There was planned a 28.49 wide outlot between these lots that was to serve as a stormwater easement and access drive to the future town well number 8. B, lots 2140 and 2141 have a different configuration that makes lots 2140 smaller and lots 2141 larger. Together, they have the same square footage as shown on the primary plat. The development fee for this project is $32,944.67. And number 4, the public improvements are not done. Sewers and water mains have to be constructed, but the testing of those mains have not been complete. Until the testing is done with satisfactory result, the system is considered incomplete, and the full cost of these systems be included in the letter of credit amount. A letter of credit in the amount of $1,811,957.07 or a surety bond in the amount of $2,141,403.81 should be submitted to the town to cover these costs. In the past, these developers have asked for the signatures be withheld from the plat until improvements have been completed in lieu of submitting an irrevocable letter of credit or surety bond. If you have any questions, please contact this office. With that, to the board, if there's any questions or comments to Mr. Kuiper regarding the secondary plat, and if there are no questions, concerns, if we can get a motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
And Ken Kraus, I know you're out there somewhere. I don't understand the language regarding the access easement to the well site. What's the end result?
We just took that out of the plat submission for this one. It would be in the next phase that we'll do. So it's not that it's removed or anything, it's just not part of this plat.
So those two lots, Paul, where the easement was between, have been removed from the secondary,
Oh, so the plat actually carves that, okay.
carves them out, so they would have to come back.
Okay, got it. All right. That makes more sense than reading it in text.
I,
The language is a
Same
little goofy, yes.
same question, Paul.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion on that, but, what Tim said is correct. The two lots that were left off, the 2108 and 2109, there was almost a 30-foot outlet in between them that would have served as access to the future well site. However, those two lots in that outlet have been carved out of this final plat and will be included in another phase.
And Ken or Rick, any adverse effect did you see of making lot 2140 smaller?
No. As Ken said, the total square footage between the two lots remains as platted on the primary plat. If you can, and for the members of the audience, it's a little difficult to follow the cursor as I show it here, but the lot line used to go roughly in an angle this way, splitting the two lots. Now, instead, lot 2140 is smaller, as Ken mentioned, and 2141 is larger by the same proportion. So, no issue with that, Mr. President.
Quick question. This is Yolanda. In terms of the plat for today, is there any other change from the primary plat other than what we just talked about? Anything different in terms of what was presented in terms of the primary to the one that's being presented right now, other than what was just discussed?
Those were the only two items that I found that were different. Really, the only one that was different was the lots 2140 and 2141. The omission of lots 2108 and 2109 it was just left out of this particular plat. So it's not really a change, it's just not part of this.
There was one other one with 2102 that the easement for stormwater was included inside of the lot rather than a separate outlot. That's the only other thing, but that shouldn't change the overall function or anything.
No, and in the next lot to the east of 2102, we'll also have an easement. And that easement is for the outlet of the detention basin and to provide an overland flow for emergency spillway.
Correct.
Yolanda, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
With that, any questions or concerns from the board for Tim? If not, I will entertain a motion. And if there
Mr.
is
President, just as a reminder, if there's a motion to approve, it'll need two conditions. One, that payment of development fee be submitted before the plats are before the plat is signed, and withholding signatures, as Mr. Kuiper indicated, until all improvements have been installed, inspected, and approved.
Thank you, Rick. Again, if there's a motion to approve, 2 items of contingency be part of that motion, development fee be paid, and then signatures withheld until the improvements are done.
I'll make a motion that we grant secondary plat approval to the Gates East, Unit 21, 23, and 26, with the conditions that the signatures are withheld until the improvements are installed and the developmental fees paid.
I got a motion to approve with the two contingencies. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second. Discussion? Roll call, Margaret?
That second was by Mr. Gillette, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Burleson is present with us, but he might be having computer issues. Mr. Burleson, are you there to vote?
We'll swing back to him.
Okay. Ms. Cardona?
Yes.
Mr. Gill?
Yes.
Mr. Gillette?
Yes.
Ms. Wooland?
Yes.
Mr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. Burleson, I see your mic, looks like your mic's not muted anymore. Are you?
Yes.
Yes, in favor?
Do you hear
Okay,
me
thank
now?
you. Yes.
Motion to approve secondary plat was approved 6-0. Thank you. Anyone for public comment? Just for the anyone for public comment? Just for the general public understanding, when we enter into the study session after this meeting, there is no public comment during the study session. So if, just while you're out here, if you want to make a comment about what's being discussed during the study session, this would be your time. So anyone want to speak about public comment? If not, all right. With that, I'll make a
Have a good evening.
motion to adjourn. Motion.